Hello? Hello, besties? This needs to be... No. No, what's a good one? Sure, we'll do that one. Hi, besties. How you doing? It's been a long time since I've played Minecraft on stream. It's been so long. I don't even remember when the last time I played on stream was. But we're back. And we are playing on a modded version of Soup's SMP from like 2022, which is really exciting. I'm kind of anxious because I haven't talked to a lot of these people since the server closed. But it'll be fine. It'll be good. It's exciting. I tested it out. My laptop like barely runs it, so we're just gonna have to fly by the seat of our pants and just hope for the best. I haven't dropped any frames though, so we'll see if I am actually able to stream this. If not, I might just record it. If my computer can even handle that. I remembered my coffee too, by the way, so I'm excited about that. I think we should get into it. I am gonna close that though. It is really hard for for my honestly, I've heard from people that it's this game is hard to, well, the mod pack is hard to run. Why I put the chat on the left side? Why, there it is. It's hard to run even on like a good computer, so I guess we'll see. Yeah, hold on. I do want to turn the music up a bit. We'll put it at like 40. That seems good. Okay. I'm scared. I'm ready. Join server. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. 1 FPS. We'll see. Oh. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. There. I said hi. Okay. Just so you know, I have no clue like what this mod pack entails. Alright, so also these are like booty graphics, so you're gonna have to bear with me. Yeah, I've got no clue what I'm doing. Whoa, I can see what you're doing! Oh my god, that's crazy! That's freaking crazy! Okay, I'm at 80 FPS now. Okay, that's pretty good. Oh, Crom left. Okay. Oh my good god! There's so many people. And Soup also didn't, well, she's sure that, she probably missed some people, so if you were on the server, you can probably DM her and inquire about it. I've got no clue what I'm doing. What's happening? Whoa. Whoa, when you run, there's little dust particles? Whoa, what the hell? I'm so scared and like overwhelmed. What's the voice chat? How do I voice chat? Oh. Okay. I'll leave this here and just leave myself muted, I think. Start recording. What does that mean? What does that mean? Help. Okay. Let's look at the guidebook. Hello? 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 Oh god. You know what? What's happening? What's happening? Can I sit? I can't sit. That's okay. Soupie SMP. All the rules. Oh yeah, it says you can invite friends, just DM Soupie. Okay, I got no clue what I'm doing. Okay. We're just gonna kind of figure it out as we go. Town Hall. Oh my god. It's the mayor. Hi, mayor. Is my PNG tuber too big on screen? I can't tell. Hi, Mr. Quackington. Free snacks! Oh my god. Honey cookie, cookie, sugar cookie, chocolate cookie. Sweet berry cookie. That sounds good. I'll take a couple of those. We'll occasionally post requests here. This doesn't quite look right. I'll fix it in a minute. Mayor Quackington will... Candy store, community garden, public bathroom, grocery store. Cool. Oh, there's a... this here. You know what? Be eaten up to 3 times, grants infinite regeneration. Oh, damn. Okay. Let's put that in there for now, because I don't think we'll be using that at the moment. Don't touch! Now you're just tempting me. Oh. Public resources? What is this? Oh my god. Oh, there's a little bench! This is so cute. Spawn sleeping quarters. So cute! Oh my god, the little sheep in the curtains? Oh my god, this is so exciting. I'm so excited. I don't know where anybody is. Other than Snoozer, which I think went that way. Builders Guild. This feels out of my league. Maybe I should just, like, wander and get some wood. That feels like a good idea. Okay. Butterfly? Is there bug catching? Builder? Oh, I thought that said booty hole. Is there deer? I have not actually... Wait a minute, what was that? Oh, that's just a skeleton in shadow. Whoa! Whoa! Oh my god! Oh, this is cool. Oh, this is cool. This is fun. Hello? Goomy? Mibby? Oh, they're friends! Cute! I don't want to hit the butterfly because I don't want to hurt it. Post office. Oh, hi! Hi, Mr. Gumption. I can choose a mailbox? I'll choose a mailbox? Oh my god. Oh my god, this is so exciting. Oh my god. You know what? I'll put mine down here. Right here, I think. Oh god. What's happening? Hypers. Mail. Sure. We'll go. We'll do this. I think everybody's doing that. Okay. Done. Wow, exciting! Oh my god, this is so cute. Oh my god, that's so fun. Whoa. Okay, that's cool. That's rad. Oh my god, Rico! I don't know what I'm doing. I guess let's just go out and like look around. What's this? Cookies Bakery? Cookie? Oh my god. Wait, what? Can't wait to find the horror monster soup put in the pack secretly. Huh? Excuse? Excuse me? I'm terrified. Okay, so also in this server, I'm going to try to be a bit more social, because in the first server, I do very much still have bad social anxiety, but I think branching out in the form of Minecraft would definitely help a lot. And I've been really trying. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay, you know what? Maybe now is a good time to actually fix the fuck ass leaves that's happening right here. Just in case, I don't want to like spoil or dox anything. I don't know what's in here in video settings. Quality. Leaves. Fast? Does that help? Default. How do I... Is it continuity? Is it that? Nope. Is it that? Nope. Advanced. General. Okay, it might be... Where are the mod settings? There we go. Oh my god, there's so many. Is it this? Nope. I can't believe I actually remembered to get my coffee today. Thanks for holding tight, folks. Diagonal blocks? What the fuck? Magic? Oh, this is crazy. Maybe I should dig myself into a hole. Hold on. I might do that. Oh, yeah. It's getting tonight. Hold on. I'm gonna do that real quick. You can't see, but trust me, it's happening. Okay. Okay, I'm in a hole. Alright, I'm gonna go back to my settings to see if I can figure out what's going on. No, I'm not trying to talk to you, Siri. I'm not. Fairy lights? Oh my god. Oh, I'm excited. Friends and foes? What the fuck? Hamsters? Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, this is so exciting. Oh, invisible frames is always good to have. Jump over fences? What the shit? Come on, come on. What is it? Maybe it's like a resource pack. I feel like it might be a resource pack. I'll finish looking through the mods real quick, though. Oh, I hear things. What's happening? Oh my god, pride flags. Wow. Oh my god, there's so... No wonder my laptop had trouble freaking loading it. Oh my god, it just keeps going. It just keeps going. Okay, I think it might be a resource pack thing. Hold up. Resource pack. Would it be... Okay, it's definitely some sort of... Okay, is it daytime? It's definitely some sort of resource pack, but I might, just because I can't easily figure it out now, I might figure that out, at a later date. Like, off-stream. Oh my god, that was a fucking high jump. Oh my gourd. Okay, hold up, let me... Okay. Hippos! What the hell? Okay. This is so exciting. I'm so excited. Yellow daffodil, flower patch. Oh, what's that? Oh, is that somebody's house? I don't know. Oh, this is so cool. This is so fun. I'll check that out in a moment. Oh, maybe I should get my food. I'm scared to, like, break any certain trees, but I think I'm allowed to just, like, break anything away from spawn. I'm so excited. Oh my god. You know what? This feels like a fine tree to disassemble. I love all of the nature sounds. It's so nice. Whoa. What the hell? What the hell? Ooh. Thank you. Let's get another one, shall we? Oh my god. What was that? Oh, it's gone! Wait, is a timber mod on? I'll replant that. Huh. There we go. Hey! This is exciting. I don't want to particularly cut down, like, the big trees, because that feels like a lot of work that I don't have in me right now. Can I, like, grab this? No. Can I? Please? No. It's just for show, I think. Not quite sure where to go. What's that? Oh! Is that a hedgehog? It is! Oh my god, I love hedgehogs. Ants? What the hell? Okay, this might be a good place to... Actually, this is near somebody's house. I might move a little bit away. Just so I don't obstruct them. What's that green mushroom? What the hell? What the hell? I'm gonna get this sheep real quick. Thank you. What the hell is that? What is that? Is that a boar? I'm scared. Armadillo! Oh, these trees are fun. I like those. What's that? Mauler? The fuck? What the hell? Oh, this is cute. Oh my god. Oh, I think there's a cave over here. Someone might have, already gotten to it first, though. Hello? Oh, there we go. It just took a second. Let's get sticks. Oh, and what the hell? An axe. Is this just stone? I think it is. Okay. Oh, wait, what? Can I make a weapon out of this? Oh god. Oh god. The jitters. Okay. Can I? Oops. That's not how you make a sword. Oh, I can. Cool. I'm gonna put all my books, like, up here. Cool. Okay. Let's get some more stone. Oh my god, the lag. Yippee! Okay. Let's get ourselves a furnace. I actually do want a stone pickaxe too. You know what? I might as well just get myself all stone tools while I'm here and while I'm at it. Are those leaves? I think they're leaves. Oh my god. The server's been open for an hour and people are, sorry, an hour and a half. And people are like, oh my god. Yeah, that's leaf. Okay, that's all right. I would like stone things, please. Excuse me. Okay. I'm going to take this. And I don't have... Oh dear. Oh dear. Okay. Whoa. I'm scared. Okay. I don't have any coal or anything. What the hell? I don't like that. I'm just gonna try to peek to see if I can see anything. So I would love to just find some coal. Oh! Perfect. Yippee! Let's make a torch. Let's get some more sticks. Okay. So we have some light. We can see now. Yeah, I'm just a wee bit scared, but it's okay. I'll be brave. I don't know if I want to be brave anymore. I'm scared. Hi. Oh god. I'm sure also once the server has been up for a while, the server lag will go down a bit. I think right now it's just lagging because it just started like an hour and a half ago, and like and so many people are on right now. Okay. Not seeing any ore, which sucks, but that's the way I came. Yeah. I turned the music on, but I'm not hearing any music, and it's making me sad. Hello? Oh, hold on. I'm gonna test my unmute. Oh. I think it's working. Okay. Cool. Alright, my voice chat is, in fact, working. Oh! Well, here's some coal. Yippee! I would really love for some music right now. Alright, hold up. I wish there was an option for, like, more frequent music. Oh my god. Oh my god. Okay. Nice. This is so nice. I love the sounds. Sounds are very cozy. A sheep hat? I want a sheep hat. My coffee's cold. I'm sad. Wow, I have not played like a fully modded Minecraft in probably years. Well, I have I think a little bit ago I was doing oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. I was doing just like normal Minecraft. But with like shaders and like a mini map and stuff. But I wouldn't really consider that like modded. Like transforming the game type modded. Yeah, that's like all I've done recently. Like Minecraft wise. Oh. Oh, hello there. I think that's where I came from. How much iron did you get? 5. It's enough to make a shield and something else. Did I go this way already? Yeah. Yes, I did. I cannot remember where I've been. Okay, I've been here. I'm leaving. Hello, iron. Oh dear. Here we go. Ow. Uh-oh. Oh my god. That was awful. Can I? Aha. There's a manual crawl option, which is really cool. Okay. Is it daytime? No, I think the sun is still setting. I can't tell, actually. I really thought that was iron. I got excited. Oh! Some coal. I will not complain about more coal. Why is there is there a villager running around? What's happening? Why is there a villager over there? Do you see the minimap? What the hell? Also, keep inventory is on. This is like a silly whimsical, not like too hard, too pressury or anything. Kinda a silver. My brain is smooth and pretty. So true. Hello? Nope, nothing. Nothing. Oh dear. Here we go again. In my spare time, I might I might do some like, what's the word I'm looking for? Customization. In the, oh, there it is. In the, like, settings and stuff, just so it's, like, optimized as best as possible. What's that? I got a pebble. I don't know why I need a pebble, but I have it. This is kind of scary. I don't like this. Snail! Oh, that's a skeleton. Maybe I shouldn't be here at night. Or out, I mean. What is that? A capybara? Oh my god, the capybaras are sleeping! What's that? What the hell? Oh my god. That's exciting. I'm scared. I'm scared. I'm scared about things that will attack me. Oh my god, that's so fucking cute. Oh no. Oh dear. Oh, I'm hungry. I wasn't paying attention to that. There we go. I will, walk for a little bit. Hi, moth. I think that was a moth. Okay, I'm back to where I started. I want there to be music. I need music. What is this? Wild peanuts? What? I got a peanut. Can I eat it? Can I eat the peanut? I ate the peanut! Okay, bitch. You're getting a little too close for comfort. Thanks. I'm gonna get some peanuts. Oh, that's a creeper. Maybe I should have just hid in the hole that I was in. I don't know what I just got. What did I get? I don't know what I got. I'm leaving. I might dig myself into a hole, because I also kind of have to pee. Oh, what the hell is that? I'll just build with this. Okay. I have to pee and also heat up my coffee. I am going to... You know what? I'll run an ad break while I'm gone, because you won't miss anything, so I will be right back. And I will play some music while I'm gone. Hello, I'm back. Thank you, Ad Watchers. You know what I might do is just keep the Stardew soundtrack on in the background because I need some music in my life. We'll go with 80% volume. Okay. Thank you again, Ad Watchers. I appreciate you. Okay. Let's get back to it. Did I miss anything? What is that? What is this? I don't know what this is. What is this? Tin ore? Can I mine that? Oh, hell yeah, I can. I'm scared. I'm scared. I might block myself in and like get myself situated just so I don't die. I guess not that dying really matters because keep inventory is on, but I think I'd rather not die. I can't eep. I would eep if I could. Tomato! Can I cook a peanut? No. I'll cook the meat then. And then the iron. And I'm done. No bed either. Working on it though. Oh my god, that's so much fucking coal. Let me just smelt all of that. How do I make a sleeping bag? I don't have... I don't have enough wool. I would need more wool. I don't have wool. Oops. What do I do with this? Can I see? Pebble. Stone pebble? What is this? Oh, what the hell? Flint, gravel. Oh, is it just telling me? Okay. What can I do with it, though? I'm gonna smelt that. I don't really need... Oh! Oh no! Somebody died. You know what? Once it turns day, then I will focus on... Focus on getting some wool so I can sleep. Oh my god, there's somebody outside my house. It's my neighbor. What can I do with tin? What's that? Tin. No, just like tin, like normal tin. Like, what is it? Oh, there's different types of crafting tables. What? Whoa, that's cool. Yeah, what can I do with this? Melting. Oh, whoa, what the shit? What the hell? What can I do with it? Drawers? What the fuck? Scarecrow? Whoa. Whoa. What the hell? Oh, what the fuck? Deforesting saw is fucking crazy. Tin scaffolding. Oh, okay, cool. Cool. Is the music loud enough? Not sure. I'll turn it up just a smidge. There we go. Oh, I would like to make a shield. Let's see if I remember how to. That. Is it this? I don't remember how to make a shield. Shield. I was close. I was close. Okay. Yippee! Okay. Let's have that here. Let's have our food handy. Axe, pickaxe. Okay. I think that's it. I think that's it for now. I want it to be day. I think the sun is rising. I think we're good. I'm not sure where I want to go. Okay. So, question. What happens if I do this? What the fuck just happened? What the hell was that? Uh-oh. I regret all of my decisions. I regret everything. Everything in my life. I regret up to this point. What the fuck? Are they still following me? Yeah. I'm scared. Oh, they're so hard to hit. Okay, they didn't even give me anything. I won't kill this cow yet. Because I'm trying to find sheep. I guess if I find just one sheep, I can craft some shears. Oh, it's raining. Cute. If I find a sheep, I can make some shears and get enough wool that way. What's this? Hazelnut bush? Hazelnut? Oh my god. I'll take it. What's happening? What is that? What was that sound? I'm scared. What was that sound? I'll take a pumpkin. I don't want the leaves. I don't want the leaves. I also don't want this. Oh. There's deer. Oh, it runs away. Cool. Wow, are there any sheep nearby? Apologies for the low FPS. That's just probably how we're gonna have to cope. Maybe we can find some surface iron. Or coal, I suppose. I don't really know if that's even a thing anymore. I'm sure it is, but I mean, if it's not, I wouldn't be surprised. Oh. There's some tin over there. Ouch. It's okay, I'll just break my ankles. Okay. Let's get this. What is this? Tomato. Oops, that's not what I meant to do. Ooh. Ooh! So many things. This is exciting. I need to remember to drink my coffee. I've been so anxious today. It's so bad. I took my meds though, so it should be okay soon. I want some tomatoes. Give me some tomatoes. Okay. I guess that's all it's gonna give me. Can I see the tab? No. Z? No. Is it control? No. Alt? Shift? What's the button to see what these are? X? C? I don't think so. Oh, what's that? Is that a cat? Oops. That's zoom. I swear to God, I thought it was tab. Okay, I guess we'll find out. Please be a sheep. Please be a sheep. Nope, it's a spider. I'll kill it though. Oh my God, the lag. Got it. Oh my God, I really need to fix those trees. Oh my God, birds! Cute! Are these just a bunch of birds? I think so. Okay. I really should get into playing Stardew again. God, where are any of the sheep? Where are the sheep? I'm gonna run out of food. What? Stop it. You're scaring me. Okay. Are you sure I can't get those? I really want... What are those, lemons? I want a lemon. I really need a sheep really badly. Nope, those are all... I don't know what they are. What is that? What are you? What are you? What are you? A bison? Ah! Jesus fucking Christ! It didn't like me. It doesn't like me. That's okay. Oh, what's this? Grape bush? I like grapes. Ooh, that's nice. Okay, I have a little bit more food. I would really, really appreciate some tomatoes right now for sustenance. Oh, I'm back over here. Whose house is this? Really wish I could get those apples. Can I? Surely I must be able to. Surely. Is this somebody's house? Or is this a randomly... Oh my God. Randomly generated structure. Oh my God. You go so fast. That might be a randomly generated structure. I'm actually not sure what that is. I see a sheep. I see a sheep. Cheers right now. Oh, God, I need to eat again. Oh, there's a pillager over there? You're kidding. I see him on the map. Shit. It's okay. We'll be quick. I might want to live over in this area. I'm kind of feeling like a little forest cottage. That sounds fun. All right, where the fuck are these sheep? There you are. Thank you. What's this? Oh. Cool. Cool. That's fun. What's this? I don't know what this is. Whoa, what the shit? I'm not gonna mess with that. Oh, hi. Oh, the birds are so cute. Is that emerald? If I get a, yeah, if I make an iron pickaxe. Oh, I can't. Can I make a tin pickaxe? I feel like probably not, no. That's okay. Whoa, what the hell? There's fog! That's cool. I'm fine without coal, to be honest. I feel like I'm pretty set for now. What's that? What's that on my mini-map? Another grape! Gimme! Oh, white savanna grape? White taiga grape? Oh god, I'm getting so many grapes. Oh my god, I can eat more than one? Oh, I can eat it twice? That's cool. What's this? Oh. Don't touch me. I killed your brethren, but I don't care. Oh! Oh, this is spawn. I'm back at spawn. Okay. I don't know if people have set their bases up yet. Oh no. Is that a mushroom cow? No, I think it was actually just, no. I lied. Me when I lie. Oh, there's doggies. Should we get a dog? Maybe not this early in the playthrough, actually. I love that there are deer around. Some birds. Whoa, what the shit? What the fuck? Oh, I think those are some people over there. What's on the map? Who are you? I don't know who you are. What's that? Oh, that was an ant? What's this? Strawberries? Gift me right now. Oh, hello. Oh, hi, Wyvern! Hi, bestie! I got some strawberries! Let's fucking go. Oh god, the lag. Oh, I really should set up a place to live. Ugh. I don't really want to live out here, though. Hold on, how far is spawn? Soup said that she... Okay. So I can go to, like... 3,300. I'm... Okay. What mods are on here? I'm not sure exactly what mods. But the main one is Homestead. I've seen a little bit about it, but I'm honestly going into this completely blind. Whoa, what's this? Red maple shrub. Oh my god. What the fuck is that? There's like some magic mods and like some techie mods and stuff. Oh, I can actually make a bed, I think. Just kidding. Here, you know what? I'll make a... Oh, what the fuck? This. I'll make a sleeping bag. I hope it's not a one-time use. Okay. I'm sleeping! I'm sleeping! You've not heard of that one? I think it's fairly new. I can finally eat. Days I've gone without Eep. Okay, wakey, wakey, wakey. There we go. Cool. All right. Oh, what the fuck? Yeah, I gotta fix those textures, but that's like a after stream type of thing. Gay 7. Here are all the people that are on right now. Magic and Techie. You guess. I don't know what that. I don't know how to pronounce that. And create, since those have adding. Battery. Yeah. I think I understand what you're saying. Whoa. What the fuck is that on the minimap? What is that? I think it's time to eat the. I think it's time to eat this. Oh my god. What is this? Ooh. Foxglove? What is this? What is this? What's that on the mini-map? I'm just trying to see what the fuck this is. What the hell? Gotta get no. Nope. Ooh, a fish. Ducks. More fish. Might be a good idea to kill some fish. I need some food. Add-ons. Yeah, a lot of them are either like change their in-game names. Like there's let's see, who do I know? I know Crumb, I know Gay Faye, Gobi Sauce, Jess Spooks, Moon, Pluto, Rico, and Tad. Oh, that was Tad. Yeah, a lot of them are from... Ooh, there's lots of pigs. I'm gonna kill some. Do I have room? I'm just gonna drop the pebble. A lot of them are from the previous... Oh god, the previous SMP. Is Def one you haven't heard of? What a weird name. I know, it's weird. What is that? What was that? Okay. Did I get... Yeah. Oh my god, what is this starting music? Red Heather? I didn't know Heather was red. There we go. Sorry, that was a really bad joke. I don't even know what kind of joke that was. What's this? Oh, it was the rock. There are also some, like, decoration mods. Whoa, what's this? And, like, a bunch of farming mods. So, lots and lots of stuff. What is this? Zinc? What the shit? My inventory is just so full up. Maybe we should find a place to settle. I think that might be a good idea. Great mod, yeah. Okay, I say let's take a look down this area. And see what kind of zinc is useful. Yeah, I just don't have the room right now. But I'll remember that little pig area, for zinc whenever, or if I ever might need it. I don't really know what kind of thing I'm gonna go for, like building wise. I think I'm just gonna like free ball it and not really care. Oh, looks like that's someone's setup. Cool. Oh, onions! Oh, I can't grab it though. That's okay. We'll come back. Andesite is essential for create. Ooh, okay, noted. Thank you. This is gorgeous. Oh my god, what the hell? Hold up. We need to pause. What the fuck is that? What's this? A mushroom? You love the create mod? Oh, thank you so much. I definitely will need your help. Oh, if this wasn't so like dark and probably full of monsters, definitely, I would totally want to live here. This feels so whimsical. I mean, I guess we could live here. This is incredibly dangerous what I'm doing right now. This is so fun though. That's really cool. I see another pillager icon. I'm scared. Pete. Ooh. Another guy to kill. Again, the lag will probably subside. Was that a bear icon? Is that a mouse? Oh my god. The lag will probably subside once there's not like 1 billion people on the server on opening day. That area still is really pretty. I'm thinking about it. I could maybe also dig into this cliffside. That might be fun. Oh, there's also that over there. Wild flax. Oh dear. I was thinking about using shaders, but then I popped into just like a random world I created, and I could barely move for like a solid 8 minutes. This is really pretty. You can set up railways and shit. I love railways and shit. Ooh. I might want to cook some food real quick, because I'm starting to starve. And that's not good for your health, I don't think. Factories to produce stuff. Oh my god, factories? And then trains? Oh my god! Oh, that's exciting. You'd recommend looking at recipes and just enough items if you need something to see if a create recipe can help you get it more easily. Thank you. Thank you. That sounds so cool. Yeah, there's just like a whole list of mods that I've got no clue. What the shit is that? Let me look. What are you? Oh, it's a human. Who is that? Oh, it's Ken. Oh, that's a pebble. I still don't know if you can do anything with pebbles. Are they just... Do you know if you can do something with pebbles, or if they're just, like, decorative? Oh, there's lots of bees over here. I didn't really look around here. I was thinking also maybe over here, setting up base, because I really liked those red trees. Farmer's Delight you saw, which is nice. It adds decorative things, more food items, and more plants. It's a farming and cooking mod, basically. That's like my favorite freaking activity in video games ever. So I love that for me. I should probably get some more wool. Yeah. Just so I have enough for a bed. I have a sleeping bag right now, but I don't think it technically sets your spawn, I think. Gobi said in the chat earlier. And just a normal bed is the one that sets your spawn. But the sleeping bag helps you skip night. And it's supposed to be with 50% people sleeping skips the night. But I think that's not working right now, so I think Soupie will figure that out soon. I'm so excited. I'm also really anxious because a lot of these people I either haven't spoken to since the closing of the last server, or I just don't remember / am not familiar with. I'm scared, but I'm gonna try to put myself out there and be social. You had a world that also had a seasons mod. Oh, I love a good seasons mod. With Farmer's Delight, so different plants would grow in different seasons. Oh my god, that sounds so fun. Oh my god. I don't think there's a seasons mod in this, though. Let's- ice shield. What the fuck? Here, I'll do that. Should probably. Whoa, what's this? Fur log. Ooh. Wisteria. Ooh, that's fun. I like that. Oh my god, there's so many woods. Whoa, there's paper panels? Mossy brick? Oh my god. Oh, I need to continue cooking. I don't know if I can cook any of the rest of this shit, but I really would like to keep some of it, if possible. Ooh, whoa. Checker slab? What the fuck? Chimneys? What the fuck is that? A wicker fence? Different colored pots? What the fuck is this? I don't even know how to pronounce that. What the hell is that? I like it though. Oh, I love the different colors. Chalk? Whoa. Oh, there are different, like, oh, I get it. Oh, presents. Candle holders. Paper lanterns. Awnings. Bunting. Sideways flags, I think. Oh. Oh, this is cool. Calcite cluster. Seashells? Oh my god. This is so exciting. There's different jack-o'-lanterns! Does it have chipped? Not sure. Race. Statue. Jar? Sconce? Lamp? What the fuck? Shelves? Spikes of vulnerability? What the hell? Yeah, I'll check that right now. Oh. There we go. Chipped. Chipped anvil. Chipped diamond blocks. Is this what you were asking about? Was that what you were asking for? This looks really fun. In the spawn area, there was a building that, are those allays or birds? I can't tell. There were, oh my god, my brain is not working. Oh, there were the tall doors. It looked really cool. It adds variants of most blocks in the game, and it's cool for building. There's different crafting tables that work like stone cutters. That's what I've been asking for literally forever. Since we got the stone cutters, I'm like, okay, where's the ones for the wood then? Where's the ones for the wood? Give us the wood. Oh my god. That's so exciting. Okay, now I have a little bit of food. Again, Soup doesn't really want us to build our bases more than like 1,000-ish blocks away from spawn, just because we want it to be like a closer knit community and have it more accessible to a lot more people. Ooh, I'll take it. I'll take it. Oh my god. The server lag. It hurts. Okay. A little bit more iron. I'll take a little bit more coal too. Okay, I think that's good enough. I feel like we have enough coal for a little bit. The glass variants are amazing. I'm so excited to build. I'm not sure if I want to go for a specific theme for building. Recently I've been just trying to, like, in my own, like, personal Minecraft creative world, I've been, what's that? Orange Daisy, cute. I have been just kind of, like, letting myself do fucking whatever, and just be creative and not worry if it, like, looks traditionally quote-unquote good. Because I tried that for a while. I tried to be like a good builder, and if I'm in the right mindset, that makes me happy. But a lot of the time when I'm just like playing Minecraft, I think I do just want to like build whatever, and if it's ugly, whatever, like it doesn't matter to me. But if it sparks joy, then that's what I want to what I want to focus on. Okay, where am I? Oh, I'm going way too south. I'm fine. I'm dramatic. But I guess we'll see. We'll see. If something really inspires me, then I might, try to... Ooh, more emerald. I'm not really focused on emerald right now, though, because my inventory is also full. Minecraft streams were always full of ums. So that's good. Forget what I was talking about. Oh my god, my ADHD is so bad today. Okay. How much iron do I have? 15. Alright. That's the thing that we saw earlier. I wasn't quite sure what it was, because at first, when I first went past it, I thought it was someone's house, which it very well could be. But nobody's there now, and all that's in there is like 2 crafting tables in the floor. So maybe it's like a like naturally spawning structure that I'm just not aware of. I'm not sure what that is. So, yeah, doesn't even like have a bed or anything. So, or like any chests. But I did see someone on the mini map over there earlier, so that's why I thought it was someone's house. No. Shit. Okay. Now it's a good opportunity to smelt some more iron and get myself an iron pickaxe. The overgrowth woodlands is so cool. Oops, didn't mean to do that. Pickaxe. Whoops. Pickaxe. Yippee! It only took an hour, nearly an hour and a half, for me to get an iron tool. In my defense, I have been like wandering and exploring though, because that sounds so much more fun to me. So that's my defense. I'll get a little bit more coal. Also, we are allowed to like go past the 1,000 block mark to like get stuff and shit, but it's just like our bases that should be like within 1,000 blocks. Oh my god. Okay, I don't want to really like do all that. I just want a little bit. I just want a little bit. I feel like it smelts so much slower. Is that just me? Or is that on purpose? Oh my god, it's smelting so slow. I might get in bed and... There we go. I'm honk shoeing. I'm honk shoeing. Okay, I'm not sure I am a fan of the snoring. It's like gargly. Why is it gargly? I don't like the snoring. Why is it gargly? I don't like this. Oh, they're trading 5 onion and 5 lettuce for 10 tomatoes. Ooh, that's fun. Come on, friends. Come on, sleep. Sleepy. Sleepy time. Just realized I haven't had lunch and it's almost dinner time. Huh. That's okay. Does it have a way to smelt stuff much quicker? Oh. Maybe it's not me just being, like, gaslighting myself then. Maybe it actually is slower. Crocs? What the fuck? What the hell? They're Crocs? Oh, I can set home? Oh, that's cool. Come on, come on. 4 out of 6. Come on. Oh wait, 6 is the 50%. Got it. Never mind. And for some reason I was thinking there were 6 people total. No. Not sure why I thought that. Maybe I should have blocked myself in before I started sleeping. Are we gonna sleep or what? We'll take a little bit to get the stuff for it, but not too long. That's good. Okay, well, you know what? If no one's sleeping, then whatever. Okay. All right, then I guess I'll just keep exploring if nobody's sleeping. I think it was this way that I wanted to go. Yeah. Oh my god, there are things everywhere. Oh. Bye, Gobi! Oh! I'm fine. I just need some wood and andesite, a fair bit of iron and zinc, or a bit more iron. Cool. Yeah, I'm definitely gonna have to do some research and see what's going on with this mod. Oh, my nose is itchy. Oh, are we sleeping now? Okay, I'll sleep. 5, come on, 6, come on. Come on, come on. There we go. There we go. What's that? Moss? Bayou? Whoa, what are you? Are you a tortoise? I fucking love tortoises. Oh my god. What's that? What's this? Did somebody start building here? Or is this just like naturally generated? I don't know. It's cool though. Oh, it might be naturally generated because there's that thing. I really gotta fix that. If any of y'all know, oh, stick. Any of y'all know like how to fix the little that shit, the ugly bits, let me know. So I did like a brief look through and I couldn't quite figure it out, so I just left it. You can just look through the recipes, see what you need to smelt stuff, what you need to make that, and see how you make the stuff. Oh yeah. I do really like the Cattails. The like little menu where you get to see all of the recipes and you can search for them and stuff. It's cool. It's fun. Ouch. Okay, I was here earlier. Oh, this is so pretty. It kind of hurts my eyes a little bit though. Barrel booty? What the hell? Okay. Whoa. Did somebody build that? I think someone's building that over there. Oh, I think Ken was over there, or like over in this area earlier. So that might be, whoa, fairy slipper. That might be what Ken is building. I don't see any player heads on the map right now though. Do 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 do. Do 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 do. We can also, I guess, make our own little like forest if we want like a certain tree or environment around. We could just like change it using saplings and stuff. You can give me certain things I probably want to go for first, but that just feels too backseaty. You know what? Since this is such like a big elaborate thing, you can like obviously don't like demand that I do something. Obviously, like don't be rude about it, but, and I know you wouldn't. But like feel free to suggest things. Things I might want to do. Usually I'm like against that kind of thing if it's a story game. And that kind of thing, but this is like a combination of mods that I'm not familiar with at all. But so if you have any tips, I wouldn't really consider that backseating. Oh, so pretty. I'm still tempted to make my base over there. What did I do? Alpine Paradise? What does that mean? Why did I get that? Oh, okay. Sure. Oh god. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm fine. What's happening? Oh. I'm considering making a base here. Cause it just looks so cool, but the thing, what the hell? What's that? What the fuck? Eldritch End? What does that mean? Oh my god, that's really scary actually. I like it. Like, if this area wasn't basically a mob spawning hell, I would totally want to live here. So, okay, let's think about it. Oh. Let's think about it and marinate on the idea and then come back to it. What's that? Beetroots. What the hell? Mushling? Hi! You're so cute! Oh, those are polar bears. I should, like, get out of here. So the mama doesn't get angry at me. Okay, I need to start getting back over this way. What the hell? What the hell? My god, this whole stream is just me exploring. But I kind of love it. I love exploring. Especially with mods that I'm not familiar with. It just makes everything so much more whimsical. Oh, this biome is a lot bigger than I initially thought. Hold on. Oh, wow. Yeah, that's big. Also, this is just the exact wrong direction that I am meaning to go. Starting to get hungry. I might... Oops. I don't know whether I want to just like hold out and wait to eat dinner until after stream. But I also haven't had lunch today. I've had a bagel and that's it. So it might be good to like pause in activities and just, what the hell? What is this? 2,000 blocks? What? What? This must be a sign. What? Everything early on needs andesite alloy made of andesite and iron nuggets or zinc nuggets. I will also need to make a despite casing? Or is it called despot? I don't know. To make that place a stripped log, then click it with andesite alloy. To transfer rotational power, you need cogs and shafts. If you hold over something to create, you can ponder and it will show you how it works. Oh, interesting. Okay, cool. Cool. I will need to screenshot that for later. Andesite casing. Ah, got it. Is this? Yeah. This is where I am needing to go. How did I get so off course? Oh my god. I just got so distracted. What are you? Oh, it's a snake! A little bit more this way. Tiny bee! So cute. I think I was over here earlier. I don't really remember. Everything is just kind of looking the same. Okay, this is the way that I want to be going. Bayou. I think those are naturally generating structures. Those little stone arches. Oh my god. What the hell was that sound? Map. Map, give me map. Okay. A little bit more this way. What was that purple thing on the map? Oh, sorry, tortoise. Oh my god, that actually scared me, that sound. We could make our home in the bayou. That kind of sounds fun. Gear ratio can be used to increase rotation speed, but it's mildly complicated and you need to look it up again, so you'll explain in a second. Okay, cool. Oh, those are those silly mushrooms. Okay, so like all of this is bayou. Who's that? Who are you? Oops. Oh, that's Snoozer. Old growth bayou? Oh. Yeah, I could make it in a bayou, my base, but I don't know. What's this? Pine taiga. I don't know. I just feel like I want a little bit more contrast. Oh, someone's building here. Oh, someone's building over there too. Who's that? I don't know what to call that person. And I don't know if I remember them. Oh, I can go take a peek at spawn if you want to look at spawn. There's like this little railway thing. I don't know how it works. Oh, I'm starving. It really needs to stop lagging. I need to optimize these settings. For now, I'd want to make a water wheel, shafts, and mechanical press, and a depot to go under it. With this, I can make iron sheets, which I need to make an encased fan. I can place lava in front of an encased fan and drop items in front of the lava in front of the fan, and it'll smelt them quickly. Ooh. Or put them on a depot to avoid despawning. Cool. A mill will also be helpful, and a mixer can be too, but you'll need high rotation speed for that. Cool, okay. Cool. They're still there. Gumi and Mibby. Oh, do you want to see my mailbox? Oh, hi. A little garden gnome. This is spawn. Oh god, it's struggling. This is the town hall. This is the mayor, Mayor Quackington. Down here, I don't think is actually the... Oh, I need to go to the post office, silly. Is this the post office? I can't tell. Builders Guild. Oh my god. Oh, Pluto fell. There we go. I think this is the... Nope, Quaxley's house. The fuck is Quaxley? Oh! Sorry. That was embarrassing. Who the fuck is Quaxley? I say right next to Quaxley. Is this the mail? Nope, Mibby and Gumi's home. Ah, here's the post office. Okay. Here are the 3 tall doors that I thought was really cool. Postmaster Gumption. And... Oh! People put their other ones. Cool. When I went down here earlier to put mine, over this way, this is mine. Is there anything in here? No. Why would there be? But there's still a bunch of space, which is fun. Do 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 do. I don't know if we're gonna have a shopping center. I think we probably will. Like a little shopping area, where people can build their stuff. Moogie's Magic Hut? What the hell? Out of order. Hi, Moogie. Oh, this is so cute. Hall of Height Magic. Small, average, tall. Oh, I think we can set our height, but this isn't working right now. I think, Soup said. I think I might, yeah. I'm gonna sleep here. Just so I can set my spawn again. Not that I don't think it worked the first time, but it definitely did. Hi, Crippy! How you doing? Oh my god! Jesus Christ! Bestie, what are you doing? Volcan, what was that? What was that? What's that? Why are no blocks? It's the toilet! Can I turn it on? No, that's okay. Can I sit on the toilet? No, that's okay. I didn't want to poop anyway. Oh my god. What were the note blocks? What the hell? What the fuck? You're very hungover. Oh no. It's getting so dark in here. I am gonna turn on the light. There we go. That's better. Okay, besties. Are we gonna sleep or not? Are we sleeping or not? Diamonds? Y'all. The only iron tools that I have is an iron pickaxe. And people got diamonds. Come on. I'm gonna be needing to grind this later. Oh. Bye, gay fae. Do 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 do. Okay. So gear ratio. If you place a small cog next to a large cog, it will go faster. You can then place a large cog in front of a small cog. It'll be connected by shafts into the middle of the cog, so you can spin at the same time. Same speed. And then place a small cog. Oh yay, it's daytime. Next to that, and repeat as much as you'd like. To make it slightly neater, you can place andesite casing on the cog, and it'll combine with the cog and cover the shaft bit. Okay, thank you. Thank you. I think after stream, I'm going to go back and screenshot all of that, and then mess around in creative, maybe? Just so I can kind of get a grip on what I'm doing. Okay, where do I want to go? I kind of want to explore over here. Oh, there's a little island. I'm sure somebody's already claimed that. So we've explored all the way over here, a little bit over here. I kind of want to check it up here and then a little bit down here, and then we can choose our base of operations. Where am I going? This way? Yeah. Okay, down here. All right, let's get going. Ooh, wait, I don't think I actually looked in here. Is this to, like, connect people's houses? Because that would be kind of fun. What kind of mods does this server have? Bro, I'm just... There's so many. First, the, like, main mod that the server is kind of being based around. Holy fucking shit, I'm sure the bitrate is ass right now. Oh my god, what's happening? Where am I going? Hold on, hold that thought. What's happening? I'm scared. I'm scared. Skeleton rustles. Don't rustle. I don't like that. I don't like that. I don't like this. Hey, so y'all, why did I do this? Uh-oh. 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 I'm scared. Get me out of here. Oh my god, this was a mistake. Why did I think this was a good idea? Oh my god. 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 Oh my god, the lag. Oh my god. Oh my god. I don't know what's happening. Guys, I don't know where I am. I don't know where I'm going. Oh, sunlight. Okay, that was terrifying. What the shit? What the hell? Okay. All right. Oh, somebody set base here. What the hell is that? Oh my god, this is cool as fuck. Okay, I'm gonna stand here for a moment. The main mod is Homestead. I think it's more of a recent mod that's been released. But there's some mods that add like different decorations, some tech stuff, and like mechanical stuff that Wyvern is explaining to me, so I can screenshot it later and like mess around. There's some like farming and crop mods and like cooking mods. And like a bunch of shit. A bunch of shit that adds like new biomes and trees and woods and mobs and stuff. And apparently, rumor has it that Soup put a secret horror monster mod in here. So, but it's only a rumor. It's not confirmed. I am a little bit scared though. Oh, is this a little village? Oops, I missed. That's okay. Is this a village? Hello? Oh my god. Loot chest. Oh god. Okay. Noted. Oh, that was the error message that somebody else got earlier too. Okay. That's so cute. Yeah. Oh my god. The sign is fucking swinging. I'm in love with the butterflies. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh, yep. Okay. I'm just not gonna open the loot boxes then. What was that? Whoa. Oh, they're like little shelves. Doo doo. The villager with the mushroom. Oh, you don't have a job. Oh, damn. Relatable. Also, one of the 2 jobs that I got an interview for, they emailed me back and said I did not get the job, and I'm very, very sad about it. So, but I did nail that first interview, and got a job offer. So, but that one has like pretty unruly hours, but it also pays well. So, you know, I'll take what I can get for now, but it definitely probably won't be a forever thing. Oh my god. I don't need an arrow right now. I want some bamboo. Give me some bamboo so I can do some scaffolding. You try to simplify it, but you think you made it worse. Oh, what the hell? What the fuck? Did I get it? What? Where did the bamboo go? Hello? Am I blind? Where'd it go? Oh, is it over here? No, I don't fucking know. What's happening? Where did it go? Where'd the bamboo go? Oh, is it underneath? Bitch, I don't want to get that. Okay. Oh, Soup is back. Hello? Hello? Where is it? Oh, was it just taking a while? I think it was just taking a while. No dirt. Bamboo, there we go. What was that thing? What is this? Bamboo leaves? I don't need that right now. Give me my sugar cane. Bamboo where? Yeah, it's not, like, the hours aren't too bad. They just aren't my preference. I'd get like 45 hours a week instead of 40, which I'm used to. I think it was actually, at my old job, I was technically 35 hours, but that's still technically full-time. Oh my god, it's a fucking hamster. Oh, it's Rico's hamster! Oh my god! Is Rico online? Yeah, somewhere. Oh, that's so cute. I want a hamster! You want a hamster? Hamster! I want a hamster! Oh, little snail. I like the little snail. Magnolia Woodland. What the fuck is that terrain generation? What is this? What terrain generation is this? What the fuck? Also, there was a helicopter earlier, that was just like hovering in this area and like kind of going in circles for a while, and it was freaking me out. It was a little bit scary. I want to go get some of those trees in a bit. I wanted to look over here. What's this area? God, I gotta play Stardew again. Camp turn. No, I want to speed and also breathe. There we go. What the fuck? There are giraffes in this game? Oh, I fuck with that so hard. What the fuck? What is that? Are those elephants? Hold up. Those are elephants. Oh my god, I'm in love. Can I ride them? Can I have my own elephant? Hi, baby. You're so cute. Oh my god. Oh my god. I'm actually so happy right now. I fucking love giraffes and elephants. Holy shit. Okay. Okay. It was, I think, this island over here that I was looking at that I wanted to check out. Oh my god. This is so cool. There's buffalo that we saw earlier. An ocean monument. I don't know if anyone has claimed this island over here, but if no one has, I was thinking about it. Because that sounds like a fun little activity. Come on. I can breathe. There we go. I don't know if someone has, though. I'm not sure I really want to live in this biome, though. But again, we could probably, like, change the trees around. Doesn't look like it's been claimed. Hi, ant. Oh my god, that scares me. Yeah, it's literally just like a tiny little island. That's really fun. Okay. I don't think anybody's claimed it. I'm gonna look around a little bit more just to see. There's spawn. Yeah, I didn't really envision myself building in that kind of world. Biome, I mean. Yep, world. But okay, let's just, I guess we can always change our base of operations, so it doesn't have to be permanent either. It can just be like a temporary thing. I'm in love with these giraffes. Oh my god. Okay, I don't see anything set up over here. Hippos? I love this mod. I love this mod. Okay. Oh, a scoot! It's a scoot! Oh, you know what? I'll just place down this. Okay. I think for now, let's claim this little island. Alright, let's... I don't have wood. That might be a good idea. Can I place this down? Oh, I can't place it. Okay, fine. Fucking fine. Here. Yeah, there's so much new shit. That's why, like, the whole server and my laptop are stuttering. But I'm gonna, like, optimize shit after stream. Wait, I think the timber mod or something like that is on here, so I am going to... Oh, Tad blew up. Fireworked? Oh, it is. Whoa! It shat it up from the ground. Okay, hold up. Whoa, 13. Okay, let's get these planted. I need some trees. Another scoot! Oh my god! Hi. Hi, cutie. What's that? Oh, it's this. If I start killing the boar, will they all go after me? These are the questions. I'm actually going to... Actually, I might need that. Okay. I'm gonna use that to make a stick. Okay. I need chest. Oh, hi. I think I have a friend sniffing my ankles. Okay, chest. And oh my god, my inventory is finally being cleared. Oh my god. I think we need a double chest. Your bus is late? Oh. That sucks. You made a diagram of gear ratio on your phone. Can you put it in the Discord? Oh my god, that would actually be so useful. Oh, what the fuck? That's bullshit. Task completed. I didn't know I had tasks. There we go. Okay, those are a bunch of guidebooks, which might help a bit. But right now, I just need to... Oh, nice. Thank you, thank you. Right now, I just need to feel out. Oh, delete button. I need to get the basics. Oh, should probably grab that before it despawns. Are these branches? They're twigs. What the fuck is a twig for? What? People are in the fucking nether? Bruh. I got a stone sword, stone axe, and an iron pickaxe, and 6 pork chops. Brother, what? What the hell? Okay, let's get this iron cooking. There's gonna be an ad in a couple minutes, so I'm thinking, while that ad break is going, I might, heat some dinner up, and then we can continue playing. Because I am starting to get really hungry, and I don't know if I want to wait, like, another hour. Another scoot! So many scoots. Ooh. Foob. Yeah, I also haven't eaten anything today other than bagel and cream cheese. That I had at like 9 a.m. So, not really good. But I don't make a habit of it. So, BRB. Okay. Ad break is gonna start in about 50 seconds. I'm going to BRB scream, and I'll keep the music going for a little bit. So once I'm back with my food, I'll unmute and we can chat and shit. Yeah, I will be right back, besties. Hello, I'm back. Let's turn down the music a little bit. Here we go. Hi, besties. I have some stir fry. Last night, me and my partner made a stir fry recipe out of the Stardew Valley cookbook, and it was really, really good. So I'm having some of that as leftovers for Dan. We did think, though, that there wasn't quite enough sauce. So next time we make it, we're planning on making a double batch of the sauce instead. Ooh, nice. That sounds really, really good. Wow, it's been so long since I've had a proper meal on stream. I don't regularly do it. So I know some people don't really like the chewing sounds, so I try to be kind and shit. But this isn't really like that much of a crunchy thing. Yeah, it's really good. I got the cookbook for the holidays. So I'm really, really excited. Oh, I forgot the sesame seeds. Hold on. Oh, it's just as good on the second day as it was yesterday. The recipe also gives you 4 servings, and they are pretty decent servings. They're really good. Sesame seeds. Yeah. That's been happening recently, and I'm not entirely sure how to fix it. Gonna be so real. Gonna be so real and honest. Sesame seed. Yeah, so this recipe has sugar snap peas, carrots. It's supposed to be blue carrots, but those are out of season where I am. I think I said kale already. Kale, mushrooms, and yellow onions, and ginger and garlic, along with like some other sauces and oils and stuff. It's really, really good. And my partner actually doesn't really like kale that much. But last night they were eating it and they were like, I think I've changed my mind about kale. And I was floored. If it has rice in it, just be careful because rice has really weird shelf life after cooking. Yeah. Yeah, we store our rice, and like food that goes with it separately for that exact reason. Yeah, it is, but I also, I don't know, I really like it. Oh no. My mom is sick. She just texted me. I miss my mom. I've been moved out for like 6 months and I miss my mom. I wish we had clean chopsticks. We don't. All of our chopsticks are dirty. So I had to cave and use a fork. Whoops. That's funny. Although, this, so my younger sibling is in their senior year of high school right now. And they were thinking about visiting me during their spring break in April. So I'm excited for that, if that ends up happening. It sounds like it probably will be. So I'm excited to see my sibling again. Me and my sibling have always been so, like, best friends. Well, I say that, but when we were kids, we quite literally, like, were at each other's throats most of the time because my sibling had the anger portion of the autism and I had the people don't play right with me. They don't play in the right way. So I don't play with anybody. Kind of autism. But now that we're older, we are like besties. Damn, 8 years younger? Yeah. Yeah. My sibling is 5 years younger than me. Damn, 8 is like a pretty big gap though. Although somehow, when I was like a little bit younger, there was this one day. I think it was the day where we got our first COVID vaccines, but for the rest of the day, people assumed we were twins. Which was fucking crazy. Like, yeah, we look related, but I don't think we look like twins. I feel like I don't know. But maybe that's just because I lived with them and myself for all that time that I thought that. I don't know. Really? I mean, that's always how it happens when you're in that situation. That's always how it goes. That's so funny. All right. I think I'm gonna continue eating, but I think I might switch back over to Minecraft. Okay. Here we are. It's gonna take a minute to load in though. What? I just got here! What? How the fuck? How did that even happen? How the fuck did that happen? The void. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Oh my god. Finish loading. Okay, thank you. I don't want to go out. I love drinking and driving. What? What is happening? What did I come back to? Oh my god. Cryptic, no. Cryptic, no. Day 11. Day 11. All right, where am I going? So, okay. My question is, how the fuck did that happen when I wasn't even logged in? Like, there's no way. There's no way that happened and I wasn't even logged in. How did that happen? Anyway. Shrubland. I love shrublands. This time we're not going to go through the bitrate hellscape over there. I've learned my lesson from the first time. Yeah, like, what happened there? Like, did I not fully log out? I mean, y'all saw me. Like, I was in the server's menu. Okay, it's okay. I'll just accept my fate. No. Okay, I think this is inevitable. I think we're gonna have to go through the bitrate hell. Just a wee bit. Oh, it wasn't that bad, actually. I liked the really sudden change in water. Silly. Fish. I want to build an aquarium, I've decided. Giraffes! Yeah. Yeah, that's been happening quite recently. You know what? My Wi-Fi was actually quite bad yesterday. I think it's been my internet. So it's probably not on your guys' end. It's probably a husk. Brother where? I don't know. Should probably make a sign. Hypers for now base. Smile. Okay. Here we go. Hungry. Yeah, I don't know why it's been so ass recently, my Wi-Fi. So we might need to like reset it or like contact people about it, because it should not be doing that, because we are paying for it to be good Wi-Fi. And it was good Wi-Fi up until like this past week. Yeah, I don't know what's up with it. I haven't downloaded the app either. I should download that, but I haven't done that. We should probably get some armor. Yay! Oops. That's probably fine for now. I need to save a little bit of iron. Just for, like, tools and shit. Okay. I think what I want to do. Okay, what can I do with twigs, actually? Hold up. Pause. What can I do with twigs? I can turn them into sticks. Oh, that's nice. Wait, what the fuck? What is that? Lump of coal? Coal piece? Lump of coal? What the hell? I want a few more torches. I might also go kill some fish in the nearby ocean and then go caving, I think. This is making you genuinely want to play Minecraft and you're genuinely so bad at it. Honestly, the amount of mistakes I've made, bestie. I'm not great at it either. Oh, I just killed a koi. That's okay. Does it give me food? Does it give me food? Did it give me food? Oh, yeah. Might not be worth it, though. What are you? Oh, it's more koi. I'm not sure I want to kill koi. They're too fun and whimsical. Yeah, right now, the server's on, oh, gay! What? Huh? Server ghost knows best. That's fucked up. Unbelievable? Yeah. I don't know how to spell unbelievable. God gave us a sign. Yeah, the server is set on keep inventory right now, just because this is more of like a heavy modded, just whimsical experience and less of a like hardcore survival sort of thing, you know? What are you? Can I kill you? A duck, I'll kill that. I'll take the egg too. Thanks. Give me not just rice. Where are any of the fish? Yeah, definitely. This is also, so in 2022, Soup's original, server had a bunch of these people on it. So this is like kind of the sequel to it, but modded, which is really fun. You play with it a lot too, to be honest, unless you have a corpse or a grave mod. Yeah. I actually don't a lot. Oh, is that a pillager outpost? What is that? I don't know. I really need some fish. Why aren't... Oh. Got it. Maybe I should also set up a farm. That might be a good idea. Thoughts? Feelings? Oh, I don't know what that is. What the fuck is that? Whoa. What's that? A seashell? I love seashells. Losing everything because of lag or something gets old quickly. Yeah. You play on Switch, so no mods for you. Your laptop would definitely not be able to take Minecraft. Yeah, you know what? I am surprised that my laptop can take modded Minecraft and shaders. Like, I think this is the thing that makes the error message. Oh, no. I'll take it. Nobody's been here. Wow. Yeah. Forbidden fruit. What does that mean? Oh, harvest an apple. I'm not sure I really harvested that more than, like, stole it. Oh. Is this how people are getting into the nether? Absolutely they are. Oh, I hope that wasn't somebody's... No, that didn't feel like somebody's belongings. That felt like randomly generated. Are you? Oh, you're a boar. Ooh. Oh, that's the village we saw earlier. What is this? I want to know what this is. Ducks. I really don't want to kill the ducks, but I do need food. I don't even know how to fucking pronounce that. Oh, it can't even take the Sims, and you literally only have one expansion pack. Oh my god. You've tried to play Minecraft and your laptop crashed. Oh. Your laptop is almost 10 years old. That's crazy. Okay, I'm killing these ducks. I'm so sorry, but I need food. Okay. Hold on, I'm gonna stand here so that I can have more food. Yeah, I think I got my laptop in like summer of 2021. So it's been a little bit, but it was also technically advertised as a gaming laptop. So, I mean, it better fucking be able to run games, you know? That's what I paid for. Oh. I see fish on map. I should probably breathe. Yeah, mine is also a Windows laptop. Windows sucks ass. But, at this current moment, I don't really have an option. So. Oh, what's this? What? What are you? What was that? I'm confused. Fish. Had it for 5 years, and your mom had it for like 4 years before that. And it's meant for like business. The only reason you have it is for school. Ah. I mean, one of my friends, oh my god, one of my friends' laptops is a Mac laptop, which is notoriously not the greatest for gaming. And it can't even handle Stardew Valley. That's how bad it is. Oh yeah. Yeah, the expected like timeline of when the prices and like availability of RAM is gonna go back down is 2028. So, no new computer for me anytime soon. Unless it's pre-built. And even then, I'm sure that the price will be jacked up a lot. Yeah, it's fucking crazy. The prices are crazy. Maybe just stop contributing to AI data centers. It's easy. Also, AI is bad for environment. Like, I don't know why we're so like committed to this. Well, it's bad for many reasons. I don't understand people. Should probably be enough food. Yeah, it's probably good enough. No, for real. Yeah, people don't want to use their brains and just think, oh, it's just the evolution of technology. Yeah, did we not learn from all of the dystopian fucking like books and media? Also, it like very much takes away not only jobs for real people that do it better in the first place. I could go on and on about this shit. I just, oh my god. You've got to be a certain kind of stupid. You've got to be a certain kind of stupid for that. Raw duck meat. I'll do that first. Oh, maybe I should put on fuel. Thoughts? Feelings? I'm gonna make a bed. So I can actually set my spawn here. A panda bed! That's so cute! Oh my god. There we go. Yippee! Right, exactly. And that's how we got into this freaking global warming shit place that we're already in, is because companies are like, well, I'm not gonna be alive long enough to feel the repercussions of it. So I'm just gonna do it anyway. Like, are you fucking dumb or are you stupid? Come on. Yeah, like generative AI. Generative AI specifically. But like AI as in like say you're playing Mario Kart, like single, like just you. Like you're playing against quote unquote AI, like computer bots. That I think is just a different type. So I don't really associate those two things because I don't think they're very similar, because that was programmed by a human in it of itself. And not by generative AI alone. I feel like they should be two separate words, to be honest. Well, I guess that's what the generative word part of that it means in there. Oh my god, I'm so fucking done with this fucking president. Someone, you know what? No, you know what? I don't want to get arrested today, so I'm gonna keep an inside thought for now. But I think y'all can tell where I stand with that. This bitch gotta go. Oh yeah, I heard that. Yeah. And you know what? I hope they fucking do. I hope they fucking do. Sorry, those are like innocent people, but like, those are people who are also like following orders, yeah, but they still have an obligation to uphold the Constitution above everything else. So, you know, fuck that. Yeah, you know what? Honestly, fuck this country. I hope it gets reduced to shambles and then given back to the native people that it was stolen from. Anyway, I want to look for like another scoot. Oh my god, another scoot! Is there a creeper over here? Oh, I think it might be underground. I don't think I've gotten like more than one scoot in my entire Minecraft career. I don't even know quite what to do with this. Can I make something with it? Oops. Scoot. Oh, armadillo scoot. What does this do? Oh, does this make the dog armor? I don't know how to do that. I don't know. I think this is how to make the dog armor. Cool. UK was on board with protecting Greenland via military power, so it will probably do something too, yeah. You would say come on over to Canada, but it sucks in its own quieter way. Yeah. Yeah. I do like Canada more than this fuck-ass country, though. Gonna be honest. Oh, yeah. Yeah. Did y'all hear that the only thing... This is quoted by the Orange Man himself. The only thing stopping him from taking what he wants is his own morality. Those are from his own mouth. I shit you not. Like, tell me you're not the second coming of Hitler without telling me you're the second coming of Hitler. I'm sorry. You know what? I'm not sorry. Fuck that man. I forgot to keep cooking shit. I was too busy engrossed in the conversation. I fucking love kale. Right, exactly, London, literally. Dude, from day one, I have been calling that man, like, 1 foot in the grave, 1 foot on a banana peel. Like, seriously. Just let it happen already. The big, beautiful day. Come on, let it happen. US imports about $113 billion of medication from the EU. So if you think healthcare is expensive now, it can get a lot worse. Yeah. People will cheer. People will take a day off work and celebrate. All day, no, all day long, all night long. Seriously. Like, it was already, that was already the collective, sentiment before, like, everything started getting infinitely worse. My god. Oh, I can cook it. Cool. Okay, I should get ready, get some shit ready. Bring some of that. Bring some sticks. Might make a few more sticks, actually. All right. And I'm going to bring my crafting table. There we go. Oh, the lag seems like it's a little bit better. I'm expecting to get some more coal while I'm mining, so I might just leave most of it there. Okay, let's find a place to go mining, finally, after 1 billion years. Is that what I want? Is this what I need? Yeah. Stupid ant. No, seriously, it would become a holiday. I'm so serious about that. Hopefully he dies before deciding to invade Canada. Yeah, no, that's definitely on the roster. I'll tell you that. I mean, y'all, like, he joked about just canceling the midterm elections. And then, what was it, like, last night, this morning or something? He was like, yeah, there's, like, literally no point, though, because everyone's gonna vote against the Republicans. Like, no fucking shit, are you? This is, like, the smartest thing this man has ever said. Like, no shit. Hi, Gobi. Hi, bestie. How you doing? You live in the Republic of Texas of Canada. Whoa. But you can admit it's still better? I'm too American to know what that means. First, he wanted Canada to be the 51st state, and now he wants Greenland. Right, and Venezuela's oil has already been taken. And sold, by the way, into an offshore account, if y'all didn't know that. This man needs to go. This man needs to go, like, right now. I'm so sick of this shit. Every day, there's something new. And every day, I'm like, how did we... And we let it get here. We let it get this far. I'm actually not going to use my iron pickaxe for this right now. Just because I have a limited amount of iron. There we go. I should probably take this back. It's Canada, but everyone in your province is country folk bigot. Oh, that's not very good. Oh no, that's not fun. Damn. Oh, andesite. Yay. Oh. Lag is better, I think. Oh, just kidding. Me when I lie. Me when I lie. Oh my god. Oh wait, I can just do this. 3 head. Nope, that's just the entirely wrong button. Thank you. The whole world has been shifting, right? So that's part of it, yeah. And honestly, at this point, it's not even about like Democrat versus Republican. It's not like right versus left. It's about, do you have human compassion? And are you a good person versus do you hate everybody that's different from you and want them to actually die? That's what it's come down to at this point. I didn't mean to get into politics here, but y'all know my stance on this. Y'all know my stance. Wyvern, do I need copper for anything? I'll take it just in case, but... Oh yeah! Yeah! Oh, have fun! If you're still streaming, I might raid you in a little bit, once I get off. Oh my god, it's almost been 3 hours. What the fuck? Well, at least in a certain part of America it is. What is this? Oh, this is diorite? Why does it look like that? Oh, probably because there's a freaking resource pack. Whoa, what's that? What's this? Whoa! I think it's just a cave. Yeah, enjoy your stream. Yeah, I'm surprised my stream hasn't crashed with like how heavy Minecraft with these mods are on my laptop right now. I'm like, that's crazy. Yeah, thanks for joining. It's nice chatting shit. Oh my god, my finger is twitching. Isn't that like a sign of like some sort of vitamin deficiency or something? I don't know. But I also have panic attack induced seizures, so so who knows? Hello? Can I please, like, run into any teensy weensy bit of iron? Audio jungle. I fucking love that. Audio jungle. Oh my god. Oh my god. I dug a long way and I still got a long while to go. Oh, zinc. Oh, I can actually pick up the zinc now. Wait, do I need iron for this? I feel like I may need iron for this. Yeah. Do-do-do-do-do. Yippee! Zinc! Oh, I still haven't finished my dinner. It's okay. Oh, your answer to my question was yes, but not really. Okay, perfect. Oh wait, capped at 60? Maybe I should do that. Hold up. Is it general? I have mine at 90 because that's usually fine, but I might do that. I guess we'll see. It feels about the same. I don't know. Dude, to beer or not to beer? Oh. Deep slate! Make copycat panels with zinc. They're like framed blocks if you know that mod. Nope. I don't know most mods, except for biomes aplenty. That's about it. Roller derby. Ooh. Ooh. Gnarly. Keep an eye out for andesite. Oh, I passed some earlier. I know I needed it, but I am focusing on iron right now, but I'll grab that on the way up. Thank you, thank you. God, I really gotta play Minecraft again. I mean, no. Oh, wow, I really gotta play Minecraft. Yeah, I should. Actually, I haven't played Minecraft in a really long time. I should get back into it. I meant Stardew Valley. That's rough, buddy. What are these advancements? Mine a gemstone ore to obtain a rough gemstone. This isn't redstone. This isn't redstone. I thought it was redstone. What the fuck is rough cinnabar? Sure, yeah. Okay. God, I don't know what, like, most of these blocks are. Doo-doo-doo-doo. Oh, what is that? What is that? What is this? What are you? I don't know what you are. Oh, I gotta chum some water. Wow, yeah, chum. Yeah, I don't think I've had water since before the stream started. Maybe I should eat the rest of my dinner. Oh, you can't see what that is? It's rhyolite, I think. Like Rhyolite. I don't know what it is. Oh my god. I probably should have, I'm gonna go grab my sleeping bag, actually. I should have brought that with me. I don't know why I didn't. Only for decor? Oh, okay. Carrot. I think in about like 12 minutes we're gonna end up stream. And hopefully I'll remember to actually raid someone this time. I was thinking of raiding London. Oh god. Hello? Don't touch me! Don't touch me! This might have been a bad idea. It's okay, we live life on the edge. Plus there's not really much to lose. Keep inventories on, so. I guess the most we could have to lose is, creeper. Ah! Sorry, I was looking at the chat. Oh dear. Oh dear. Oh dear. Where is my setup? There it is. I might die. That's okay. Oh my god, I need people to sleep desperately. Please. Please, I beg, please. One more. What? Oh no! Moonshot by skeleton. Yes! There we go. Ah! I'm scared. Okay. Oh my fucking god, y'all. I should not be allowed to play this game. I had the freaking sleeping bag on me the whole entire time. Y'all. Who let me play Minecraft? I did not need to go all the way out there. Oh my god. Someone put me out of my misery. Oh my god. Okay, where was I mining? It's gotta be over here somewhere. Hello? In here? Yeah, there we go. There's another create thing. There's a mechanical saw that allows you to chop whole trees instantly if there's only one block connecting the tree to the ground. Oh, cool. Nice, nice. Oh my god, I can't believe Lady Gaga. Sorry. I can't believe the sleeping bag was in my inventory the whole time. Can I break this with stone? Wait, is this lapis? What the fuck? Why isn't it lapis? What the hell? I love Lady Gaga. God, I feel like I'm getting nowhere. Come on. Oh. Should we go in? I mean, the worst that can happen is we die. And that's not really too much of high stakes at this current moment. Hello? Ooh. Cool. Yeah, right now I just need iron. Oh! Speaking of. Yeah, what's this? Phosphor fungus. What the hell? Oh my god, is my inventory full? What the shit? Oh, maybe I should eat. Slate silver ore? What is this? My god. Oh, that's not the ore. Okay, I think we're gonna leave the redstone. I don't need redstone right now. You'll need 1 block of iron. Oh my god, I'm so broke. I probably will be doing some off-camera mining. But I'll keep my OBS handy in case, like, I don't know, something interesting happens. Oh. Oh god. Oh my god. Oh, great heavens. Oh, did I get it? I think so. Boink. These mushrooms? Oops, didn't mean to put that there. Ooh. Oh, great heavens! Iron for the fan and the saw, okay. Noted. Where am I going? Oh, what the hell? No ink sac. I'll take it. This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. This was a bad idea. Bad idea. Bad idea. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. I'm stuck. Oh my god. Why does the zombie have a chef hat? Why does the zombie have a chef hat? Why does the zombie have a chef hat? Why do you have a chef hat? What's happening? Why? 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 Why do you have a chef hat? Why didn't I get the chef hat? I want the chef hat. That was really mean. Also, I didn't even get the glowing sacks. Eh. Should have dropped off my freaking. Ugh. Ugh. Oh, I don't need dirt right now. Get me out of here. No! Did it fucking despawn? Oh, wait, no, I got it. Huh. I'm just dramatic. Got me on podcast mode. When you heard the zombie sound, you turned like you were actually about to get munched by a zombie IRL. Oh my god. No, I feel like I've done that before though. Oh my god. So, okay, I gotta tell y'all a little story. Hold on. Where's the... Yeah. So I don't typically use like any sleeping aids or melatonin or anything. But last night, it like hit midnight and I was not tired at all. And I'm like, this is an issue. This is a really, really big issue. Wait, why can't I pick up? Why can't I pick that up? I'll just get rid of that, I guess. But it was like really bad last night. So I was like, hey, can I get a melatonin? To my partner, and then I got one. I popped it. 30 minutes later I was asleep, but I had never, when people said that they had really wild dreams, they got like weird melatonin dreams, I never understood that until last night. Holy fucking shit, that was a trip. That was fucking crazy. Hi,
fat wombat, hi Misty. How are you?
We're actually about to end in a little bit. I'm gonna snooze the ads because, yeah. You stay up until you're about to pass out because trying to sleep otherwise is often too hard. Yeah. I typically go to sleep at like 10, 11 at the very, very latest, and that's rare. But I can't even like fully explain what it even was. It was just so like, that's how I think like hallucinogenic drugs felt like. Like, it was that crazy. I don't remember where I came from. Where did I come from? Oh. Oh. Yeah, it was really weird. Okay. I think I'm gonna end up stream. We are going to... I'm gonna quit the game. We are going to raid someone who raided us recently, and I have just been getting to know. Let me go to my Twitch dashboard. Yeah. Stream manager. All right. Enjoy your food, thanks. Oh my god, your mom! You slept at 5 last night? That's fucking crazy. Okay, let's raid London. Let's see. London is currently playing Potion Permit, which I just started the other day, and will be continuing tomorrow? Or the day after. I don't quite remember. It's up, the schedule is up on my Twitch schedule tab and in my Discord, so yeah. All right, let's get this raid started. All right. It would be great if you give London just a little bit of your time. Great person, very nice, very kind, and just raided us recently. And I don't raid people that often, so I think it's a good idea to to actually raid people, because yeah, it's good. All right, have fun. I will see you when I see you. I'm gonna go eat the rest of my stir fry and probably mine some more Minecraft. But yeah, I'll see you in next stream, everybody. It was nice hanging out. Thanks for joining. Be safe, don't be stupid. Bye.